All right, let's go back to one of our top stories now on the ANC Manifesto Review Wrap-Up, and we speak to political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou. Let me thank you so much for your time. One of the things that is very clear from that particular, event, if one may call it like that, that we heard earlier on, is the selection process that now includes completing 4 modules at the OR Tambo Leadership School, no criminal record or charges, no one found guilty by the party's disciplinary committee, and they also, as they look to find what they call the best possible candidates to put on the ANC's list ahead of next year's elections, and these are individuals that they will look to try and meet the needs of South Africans. What are your thoughts on that process?
Good evening, Bongiwe. Good evening to the viewers at home. The bar for representation in South Africa, either at local government, provincial and national level, has been quite low, and I would argue that it remains very low because you only need to be over 18 years registered and being a South African citizen. And that creates a situation where everybody could easily get access to be elected and become a public representative. My view is that political parties in South Africa, and indeed the ANC as they've done now, they are trying their best to come up with some sort of a framework or requirements that would make certain individuals to qualify for public office. This, in my view, could be a starting point, but the bar, in my view, remains very low because they're actually saying very little about academic qualifications. It is not only about one having a very good track record in the political party and not having a criminal record and all those other things that they raise. So, for me, that is not enough.
So is it not enough? Pardon me, Dr. Ndou. Is it not enough then, because they say that they want a post-matric qualification or an equivalent of that experience, that one can demonstrate when it comes to that various fields and all of that?
It could be. The challenge you have is that if you are not very specific about exactly what you need, you can still get people who would not be able to perform as expected. The report by the Cogstar minister talked to a very challenging situation when it comes to councillors in South Africa in terms of basic qualifications. And if our political parties don't take that into cognizance, we risk having to get public representatives who might not be able to cope with the pressures that are associated with the responsibilities that they are supposed to assume.
And the party is saying that, through its president, it does admit that there have been strides that have been made, but at the same time, there are issues where it seemingly is moving slow, particularly that's an issue of corruption. And this is an issue that was raised very sharply by their veteran, Mavuso Msimang, who was resigning from the party, but now he's back. I wonder, what do you think of those developments there?
South Africans have got a huge expectations on the ANC to do better, especially on matters related to corruption. It is also a matter that, in my view, the ANC itself is aware of, and my expectation is that they should have actually moved faster than now. The ANC has got a dossier in front of them that comes from the Zondo Commission. And in my view, they should have started the process of saying, this is what we are doing exactly with those that are implicated in the Zondo Commission. I know that there are those who have actually decided or threatened to take as a part of the report for review. But the political party that is in government and that is aware that citizens are worried seriously about corruption and its activities, they should actually be, in my view, in the forefront of ensuring that they act on people that are mentioned, and also at the same time set an example and build trust on ordinary citizens that indeed this is a matter of agency on the ruling party.
What do you make of the developments then around their veteran Mavuso Msimang?
Well, I think the discussions that Mavuso Msimang had with the Secretary General, Mr. Mbalula, could have convinced him to think otherwise and rescind his decision to resign from the ANC. Some people might have said, maybe this is what should have happened earlier, so that he could not even have the courage to write that letter. Another reason, in my view, would be that Mr. Msimang might have done an introspection to say, this is the party that has served for a very, very long time, 60 years plus, and abandoning it right now might not be a good idea because he only has got one home, a political home that he knows, which is the ANC, and he might actually be lost outside the ANC. But my last point would be that it could have been that he felt that there are serious challenges in the ANC. He is part of the Veterans League, and he cannot just abandon the ANC at a time that is quite needed. The best thing, in my view, is that he might have decided to stay in the party and make a difference from within, because if he was outside, he wouldn't be able to make an impactful contribution.
Now, former President Jacob Zuma as well, tomorrow expected to brief the media on his political future. Speculation is rife that he may find a new political home or may start his own home. Others are still, are taking a wait-and-see approach. And I wonder how you see this one unfold.
If former President Zuma says he wants to make an announcement about his political future, it might easily be explained as him saying that he's leaving the ANC for another political party, because it would not be necessary if he was staying within the party to make an announcement. There are many possibilities. He could be forming a new political party, or he could be joining other political parties. And ever since he resigned or got out of the ANC, he appeared to be a very active person who still has the desire to still make a political contribution. Maybe his energy would be the one that is giving him courage to still continue as an active political participant in the South African body politic.
Any impact at all, should he leave, on next year's elections?
Well, it could have an impact mainly for the ANC. If you have got a former leader leaving your party, obviously it has an impact, especially on those who might have supported him. But if he's forming a new political party, it will depend on the resources that he has and the energy to be able to run up and down the Republic of South Africa in the shortest space of time. But for me, I think what we have to do is to just wait and see as all these processes are actually unfolding.
And it's going to be an interesting wait and see then. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But let me thank you so much for your time, Dr. Ndou. Do appreciate it. That is a political analyst, Dr. Levy Ndou.